How you doing, guys? It's LSP. Welcome back. It's currently the 24th of June 2018, 23:40 a.m. Sorry, GM. Oh, for goodness sake, PM. GMT time. Sorry, I'm just getting pounded by this like horrific explosion of hay fever and pollen and allergies and whatever in the UK. I think it's the worst it's ever been ever. So it is what it is. I'm not going to overexhaust this. Look ahead. I'm just going to quickly talk about some things. Firstly, the calendar this week, the news calendar, is littered with speakers, which generally tends to, you know, give us pretty shitty price action, to be honest. Sometimes, when you have loads of speakers, basically anything can happen. Somebody will say something and, the market reacts to that favourably, unfavourably, it doesn't really matter. So we have to be aware of that going into this week. And like I said last week, I believe this week's going to be a bit of a messy week. And I think we're probably just going to end up going kind of grinding sort of nowhere, up and down. I think there's going to be a lot of stop runs this week. But again, these are all my opinions, guys. And obviously, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not giving trade advice. I'm just, sharing some info. And this is all for educational purposes anyway, we know this. So we're going to start with the dollar, keep it really simple. I'm going to kind of focus more on the higher time frames going forward for now until I sort of work towards something that I'm doing for later this year. But for now, just going off the back of what we discussed last week, we had this kind of run up, didn't take out the highs, and remember we're using the September contract up here, so your chart might look slightly different, but we had these sort of triple top up here, move down, reversal, big strong week, some follow through, and then immediate rejection, and we've come back into this range. We're going to have to clear this swing low convincingly for me to start moving lower. So I am bullish dollar still momentarily, and I do think it may not happen this week, but I do think we're going to get one last run up, probably up into the 96.70, 96.60 to 96.70 again, which I said last week. But we'll see. There's no rush. The cool thing about what we do is we don't need to kind of anticipate. We can just wait, be patient, wait for the moments, pick our spots and just grab what we need to grab and then move on. So that's where we're at with the dollar. Like I said, I don't really want to be dropping down to lower time frames and kind of looking at other things. I just want to kind of focus on the higher time frame draw on price. And going into this week, my bias is going to be bullish on the dollar. So I'll say it like this: sideways to mildly bullish. Meaning I am bullish dollar, but I believe this week's going to be messy. I believe we're going to be consolidating a little bit. I think it's just going to be a pretty shitty week, to be honest. So I'm not pushing anything. And any trades that I do take, if any, are going to be, brought to break even very quickly, assuming they go in favour or in profit. And I'm just looking for 20 pips, at the absolute most 30 pips, and that's if it runs without me, being able to get out quick enough. I'm not pushing it this week at all. So that's the dollar. We'll just jump over to the euro, and likewise, slightly different on the euro. I do think we're coming down to sort of like the 114, we'll call it the 115, okay? I do think the 115 handle is going to get tagged this week, but I think it's just going to be a slow bullshit grind down there. I don't think it's going to be a horrific move down. There are speakers, so we may get some, like a volatility spike, bang, takes it out and then just comes straight back in, but I don't think we're coming out of this range this week. If we do, it's literally just to tag these orders or to tag these highs, and I think we're going to be staying in here. But again, we can be patient, we can wait. And this all hinges obviously on the calendar. The calendar, like I said, when you have a lot of speakers speaking, people yapping and talking shit, it bodes well. You can kind of project ahead, and know with a great deal of certainty that we're going to have a pretty fucked up week, So again, not pushing, being patient. The closer we get to these highs, the easier it is for me to look for a quick scalp long. The closer we get to these lows, the easier it is for me to take a quick scalp short. That's pretty much it. That's what I'm looking for this week. Anything in between, I'm not really interested. Pound wise, the pound is slightly different. I do think we're coming down here to take out these stops. So these equal lows down here. Okay, I do think it's gonna kind of. I'm not sure why, but I've just got a funny feeling that cable's going to grind lower this week. You know, it's had its rate announcement. It did its bullshit last week. I think this week's just going to allow it to just kind of slowly drift down there, take out this liquidity, and then from there, I don't know. But again, you know, we've got a good sort of 200 plus pips, let's say 230, 240 pips, to get down into this liquidity pool. So that's for me more than enough range. I only need 40 to 50 pip range for me to take a 20 pip scalp, or a 60 to 70 pip range to take a 30 to 40 pip trade. So, you know, I want to kind of see price hovering around sort of like the 130, we'll call it the 130, 150 to 130, 160 level. You know, and then I can take a kind of a move higher, takes out some stops. You know, rejects. I take the rejection because, you know, I'm big on rejection. That's pretty much my entire trading methodology, and a few other little tweaks, but that's pretty much it. You know, and then I take that kind of, and you guys have seen me do this over and over and over again in terms of taking shorts, you know, on those specific trade setups that I look for. And I was looking at my stats actually last week on my main account, and my shorts, I do pretty much like 70 to 80% shorts, you know, and 20% longs. I mean, I prefer to short the market than go long. I've always found it easier. It just seems to work for me, so I'm happy with that. But that's where I'm at this week. You know, my focus is probably going to be on cable this week. I'm going to let Sunday, Monday do its thing. I think Monday's going to be quite a mute day, to be honest. And then kind of pick things up on Tuesday, London Open, see where we're at, take it from there. Alright guys, so I apologise if I sound like a drone. You know, my throat's really hurting, my nose is completely fucked and blocked, and I'm just super tired and really fatigued. So, you know, if anybody's in the UK and they suffer with hay fever and allergies and whatnot, you know, then you can attest to what I'm saying. And this is like, it's been the worst. I don't understand, you know, what in God's name is going on. It's the worst outbreak of hay fever, and it sounds like a pretty aggressive word, outbreak, but it's pretty bad this year. You know, you've had a spike of over 4 million people, you know, going to the doctors for, you know, injections, allergy injections and whatnot. Just in the last sort of 2-3 weeks alone. That's insane. I mean, the increase is so big, you know, that a lot of people have been affected by this. So I don't know. I hope it passes pretty soon, because it's really starting to irritate me. It's getting me down. You know, walking around with a pounding headache. You know, and feeling really fatigued and stuff. It's not nice. So, you know, if anybody suffers with it, trust me, I know how it feels. So that's where we're at with the markets, guys. And I'm gonna try and do a video midweek. Maybe do the look ahead video. Do a, you know, sort of like a video midweek, kind of just see where the market's at, and then obviously we'll do like a review for the end of the week. But kind of stay on top of, you know, what we're mapping out, what we're looking at. And I'm going to start with real basic stuff for now, and then I'm going to kind of slowly incorporate some other things all the way into and run up into November. You know, so that's kind of the plan. But I'm not putting any pressure on myself anymore. I'm just going to relax. I'm going to do them when I do them. You know, that's kind of the idea. And, you know, we'll take it from there. All right, guys, so have a good trading week. Obviously, stay safe. You know, be mindful, obviously, that there's going to be a leverage change, you know, on the 29th of July, you know, which doesn't mean make the most of what we've got now and just go fucking nuts. Do you know what I mean? Just scale it back, guys. Start getting used to using less leverage. You know, I generally, you know, I prefer not to use it, to be honest. Like I said in the previous video, or maybe it was a tweet, possibly. I can't remember, but either way, you know, I don't use leverage that much, you know, on my main account. So I'm lucky in that respect. You know, some of the smaller accounts I do, obviously, and, you know, one of them I'm going to have to close because it's just, I don't want to be trading that way. But the leverage changes are coming. So just don't go nuts. Scale it back. Because the reason I mentioned this is I was talking to a trader yesterday. He's bitching and moaning about the leverage changes, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna be able to trade. No. Because if I can just double my account, I was like, fucking hell, man, just be quiet. I said, just chill out. Do you know what I mean? I said, just stick 50 quid, a week aside. I said, you can afford it. I said, just put £50 a week away. Save up 500 to £1,000. I said, put that in your account. I said, and start trading. Just relax. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you don't understand. I was like, all right, fine. So yeah, just stay safe, guys. Stay safe with your trading. Don't over leverage. Be aware the changes are coming and just deal with it, man. Just get used to it. All right, so that's that, and I will catch up with you guys midweek, God willing. All right, guys. So take care, and I'll see you then.